Good news, everyone!
Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Bandit Radio Hour. I'm your host, the Bandit, here with Merce. Merce, say howdy to everybody.
Howdy, howdy.
Yeah. How we doing tonight?
It's been, I feel like we just did this. Deja vu.
We did it, like, what, Saturday?
No, Sunday.
Today's Tuesday.
My week, my days are so...
Yeah.
They're worse than the economy right now.
The economy's pretty bad. Economy's big old stinker right now. Big old stinker head. No, dude. Daylight savings has railroaded me. I'm upset. Because right now, it's 8... Your clock, you still gotta roll it forward. But it's 9:25.
It's supposed to be like a world clock. It's supposed to like automatically update based on radio signals they put out. I can't change it.
There's some retarded radio signals they got.
Well, I mean, it's probably put out by the government.
What a genius. Yeah, we're going to sell you a clock that goes on radio signals. Oh, but if it breaks, I can change it, right? No. Come buy another.
I think there's switches on the back that I can just change time zones.
Is there different radio frequencies?
I don't know. It's called some kind of...
You're the amateur meteorologist.
Dude, I don't know. I bought it because it matches my interior.
Okay, touche. But no, it's the sunset like 45 minutes ago, like after 8 o'clock, and it's...
I like that it's getting dark later. I do. But it's getting reused to it that sucks. Because I'm used to being like, I'll just work till dark, and then it's time to go in and make dinner and get stuff ready to go to bed. And now it's like, oh crap, it's already almost 10.
But see, like for me, it's been that, but I've also been, so like this is day 3 of daylight savings that we're into. Day 2, whatever. And like I trick my stupid self, because I'll be like, it's 11 o'clock, time to go to bed. Really, it's 10 o'clock. So I can stay up another hour. That ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Then the alarm goes off. And you're like, why?
Yeah, well, then I go, well, technically, it's 6 o'clock.
Oh, keep recording, keep going. I forgot to turn off my irrigation, and if I don't, I'm going to drown my watermelons.
All right, I'm going to solo this for a minute. Go, boy, go. I'm going to mess with the camera so when you come back, it looks at you. He's really scared of y'all to see him. So, what's up, fellas? YouTube, everybody. Thanks for following me. See, this is why I'm not really that good at the, like, Instagram self-real shit. This is actually, I think he just tricked me into doing it. I kind of suck at talking to just random openness, and there he is, back to save me.
I was about to have actual watermelons.
Oh, yeah, dude, that's right. If you don't turn it off, they'll explode.
Yeah, I was supposed to turn it off 2 hours ago, but it's all good. Like I said, time change.
It was funny. Y'all can't see him, but like I was looking at his face, starting to realize it. I'm like, oh, he's thinking of something real funny to say. And he goes, the time change! Yeah. My man! And runs. And I'm like, that's a weird joke he's going for. And then it clicked in. Yeah.
I am pro taking care of your melons.
Congratulations. You finally tricked me into doing practice for a reel where I talk to nobody and people will eventually see it.
How was that?
Intimidating.
Being alone with your thoughts?
Don't like that part. I like an echo. I like something talking to me, not just loose with this running around. So, dude, the basics. What the hell did you do with yourself today?
I woke up, my alarm, got angry.
Okay, all right.
Hit the snooze. It went off again. Got angrier.
Through the phone.
Yeah. Finally got up, got going. Had to go help my buddy's farm. Sprayed watermelons all day.
Fertilizing, herbiciding. A little bit
no herbicide, fungicide, and
oh, okay,
and a little fertilizer. You know,
that's in the name. You know what it does.
Yep,
easiest one.
And so all that jazz. So nobody gets diseasey watermelons. And got done, came back here, started irrigating my stuff around because it still refuses to rain, and got sidetracked getting ready to record. And I probably have a giant mud hole out in the yard, but it's fine. It's fine.
I think it was when I was pulling up. We pushed cows yesterday, and we got another cowboy, and one of his sons helping me. Normally, there's 2 of them, but the kid's 13, and he's working at like a lumber yard or something like that. And like, don't know if I should have said that. Yeah, that's all right. But no, but
you didn't name any names or locations, so
worst comes to worst, we'll forget to edit it out.
Who's OSHA?
No, he like his that they're badass kids, and he's a badass. They came to help me today. But it's funny, while we're sitting there pushing cows yesterday, he gets a phone call from his son that works at a lumber yard. He goes, "Hey, Dad, got a question." Or I don't hear what the son's saying on the phone. I'm sitting next to his dad, who's on a horse, and I'm on a horse, and we're both riding together. There's a lot of wind. Like you said, 40-mile-an-hour winds and very little rain, which sucked. I would rather got soaked than us get a lot of rain. But I hear you go, "What? Boy, what? There's a lot of wind. What are you asking me? Can you keep it?" Hell no, you can't keep it. What he's asking his dad is, "I found a rat at work. Can I bring it home and keep it and raise it?" And he's like, "Boy, the last thing you can do is bring it home. You either leave it alone or you step on the son of a bitch and go about your day."
The kid was like, "Oh, rats."
I was glad him, like, to be a 13-year-old boy. He goes, "He's just screwing with me while I'm working." He knew my answer. I'm like, "Dude, you rock." But no, we pushed cows yesterday. Today we worked them, brought them to the pens, worked the calves, like gave them their medicine and did all the stuff we need to do to the cows and all that. But in the middle of it, we're in the middle of cutting steers, and you use pocket knife for this. And I got like this really nifty pocket knife, because I've always sucked at sharpening knives. And if you're watching on YouTube, this is like a handy dandy little, like, you can push a button and bring this whole blade out and put a new blade in, and it's like surgically sharp or whatever, and it dulls really, really quick. But whenever you're cutting calves, can I not close this thing? Oh, that sucks. Great advertising. But no, whenever you're cutting calves, like, it's great. You ain't got to sharpen nothing. It's just 20 seconds ready to go. And in the middle of doing it, I like grab a calf. I got I got my leg, what's flipped on its side. I got my foot on one of its legs, and I'm going to do it, and I whip open my knife, first calf too, and I go to knife is in my right hand, my left hand is free, and for some reason I get the stupid thought of grab the leg with your right hand. So as I go to do that, I just kind of stuck the knife inside myself. This newly laser cut blade that's ultra sharp that it hasn't cut anything. Dude, when I say it's stuck in my hand, not like a movie, like you can't get it out, but like I felt the weight of the knife lift from like my right hand. And like as soon as it happened, that didn't happen. That didn't happen like I think it did. And I just look and blood's just shooting off my hand. And all right, that's one calf down, 19 more to go. Great.
That was like the last time I helped you. The first thing I did was put a needle in my hand, on my thumb.
Oh, dude, and that happened to Claddy, and I told him, I don't know what's worse. Either a deep knife stab, which this sucks.
Where you stab the bone in your finger.
Dude, a needle sharp is just, ow. Yeah. It hurts for days.
And these aren't like little needles like you get a shot at the doctor needles.
No,
these are like big, you're giving a cow injection.
Yeah, and like, dude, when you mess up and because like, there's a machine called a head catcher that like holds the cow still, but not perfectly still. Like, it's almost like, imagine a dude.
It's containing them.
It's contained. That's a great way to put it. And so like while you're going and you gotta like pull their skin, just like a little pinch, just like the doctor kind of does to us, to put the needle in there. But then they like buck, or they ram forward as hard as they can, or back, and it's maybe they can only move 5 inches in every direction. That 5 inches is so hard and so strong that when it goes wrong, it's just 1,000 pounds of needle ramming into your finger, into the bone, and it hurts. Anyways, we're bitching about our job. Maybe we shouldn't do that too much, but it was a neat day. We had like a lot of hiccups, but nothing like devastating.
It's not anything like what you see on Yellowstone.
No, you know what? Like, I talk to people that when they find out what I do, they're like, "I bet you're just like that guy in Yellowstone." And I go, "Probably not."
No, he's rich.
Yeah, or something like it's written by Hollywood people. I don't know. I had certain people try turning me on to that show, like family members.
Some of it's good, but a lot of it is.
I have not. I watched the first minute of the first episode, where I don't know if you've seen it. It starts off with like You see a horse.
Oh, he shoots the horse.
He shoots the horse that he's in a wreck with because some logging company just came by or something like that. There's like probably some accurate stuff in that show, but if I'm certain it's like one of those, if I watched it, I'd just get pissed off at it. Just like most westerns and stuff about ranching, except Appaloosa.
Oh, no, here we go again.
Yeah,
dude. Billiard balls,
dude. It's so good. It's so just when I watch it, I'm like, that's what is it like the? Well, I've talked about the gunfight where they're like nobody misses, but like there's this other part where they're riding up on a ridge, and there's an enemy from the enemy cow camp or whatever. He's a spy looking over them, like while he's up on the ridge looking down at their camp. And Virgil Cole's just like, let's ride up there and see what he's up to. They ride up there and like they go up and say, hey, what are you doing here? I'm just sitting here minding my own business. They go, oh, really? Who sent you? He goes, I sent myself. And it's like the guy says 2 sentences, and the sheriff, who's probably like done shitty stuff too, is just like, all right, I'm gonna pull out my pistol and knock your teeth out. Like we're not even, this isn't going nowhere. We're not doing a runaround. Your teeth are on the floor. And it's like, don't get me wrong. I've never seen anybody get their teeth knocked out, but you would see. You know, there was a boy that moved to our town. You remember Chris Reeves? Jewish Superman? Yeah,
kinda a little bit, but
he's passed now. He was a hell of a human being. I remember when he moved here from Port Charlotte.
He died in a car wreck?
Yeah, he died in a car wreck. He had red hair, a little chunky.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember who.
Always,
I didn't really know him. I knew of him in passing.
Always life of the party. I remember when he came here from Port Charlotte, kind of like a coastal, bigger city nearby. Not a huge city, but they had them all. That's what we would know them for. We ain't got one of them.
Or a movie theater.
Yeah, that's where
we go to see the moving pictures.
That's where we'd go to get things.
Anything that wasn't from Walmart.
Yeah, pretty much. You could go to Port Charlotte and get it. But he moved here from there. And it was funny, like, when he moved here in middle school, because he graduated with me. And, he started out as, like, one of those hardcore atheists. Like, no, man, Christianity's dumb. Like, all this belief in God, like, which God's right? Da, da, da. Then I remember, like, by the time we got in 10th grade, he was, like, really into Judaism. And he's like, dude, I've been reading the Old Testament. It all makes sense. And every time I'm like, rock on. You're a fun guy to hang out with. I don't really care about your beliefs. You're just fun. Then, like, later on, I think he became, like, church.
Did he have Christian. Like the little red ringlets and the little hat?
No, but he did have a Star of David necklace. Now who knows? Maybe he was just screwing with everybody. But something I appreciated about him. Now I guess this is like a humble brag on our town. But he's like, when I'm from Port Charlotte, like people talk shit. Here's what I mean by people talk shit. Like two big guys will like start yelling at each other and talking smack and get like up in each other's faces. And they just don't stop doing that. And he goes, and then like rarely someone will like get hit. He goes, people around here just fight you. It's just like there is none of this. Oh, you're talking like that? All right, I guess we just got to start beating shit at each other. And for better and worse. That's what we grew up around.
We just go ahead and get it over with.
It's neat. Like we grew up in the southern version of that, specifically like southern Southwest Florida. But, like from what little I've seen about England, there's like a lot of queefs in the city. But then you go out to like the smaller towns and they have like bare knuckle boxing is like a prideful thing around there. And it's like, that's their version of that. You go to backwater Tehran or whatever Middle Eastern country.
They don't even need mouth guards over there.
Have you ever seen that thing in South America where they're like religious passage? Might be in Venezuela. It's like a real native tribe. But like
they dive off the tower with the vines around their legs?
No, that's in Africa.
Oh.
I think. I don't know. I'm being super racist right now. It could be both.
I don't know how any of that was racist.
Trying to figure it. Tomato, South America, Africa. They're kind of the same shape.
Well, I mean, they connected. They're saying with Pangea they were connected.
They're saying with Pangea. He said with quotation marks. But no, they like once a year, they have this big festival. I think it's the equivalent to like a state in Venezuela. And the part of the festival is everybody gets really drunk and puts
So
on...
every festival in everywhere.
Well, they put on like these, if I'm remembering it right, they put on like these boxing gloves, but they're not boxing gloves. They make your hands like heavier and harder. Like it's like the opposite of nerfing your hit. It's like intensifying it.
So they're just using loaded gloves.
Pretty much. And they like whoever you've had a problem with that year, that's the day to get it all out.
That's like a little purge.
Everybody in the town just gets together and just kind of takes turns beating shit out of each other and having to go
So
over
the person who ever got their ass beat the most is just like the biggest asshole in the town?
But he's kind of the biggest badass too.
Yeah.
I mean, what if you go around being an asshole looking for it? Looking for a fight.
But then if you win every fight, then that just makes you king?
I don't know.
Because then you're just like, I can do whatever I want and you can't stop me.
I need to brush up on my South American intercontinental politics, but intercontinental? No, I fucked that up. I tried sounding good. It went terribly wrong.
Foreign relations.
There you go. We'll go with that. Speaking of foreign relations, so I know I talked about it a couple episodes ago. Or I think I did. I know we meant to. Did we chat about the damn Mexican drug cartel bringing back the hostages?
No, but I saw where they sent them with a note.
Oh, dude. Yeah, so, like, so here's the thing. Some Americans got kidnapped in Mexico, and I'm pretty sure they were killed. I'm going to say what I know about this first, and I'm going to elaborate on a little bit of speculation. What I know is Americans got kidnapped, pretty sure they were killed, in Mexico. Since then, I've seen clips of, like, Republican senators, and maybe not senators, definitely some representatives, going like, now's the time to get the military, invade Mexico, kill some Mexicans. Cartels, but wait more.
Where's Blackjack Pershing when you need him?
Oh, dude, seriously. Alamo times 2. But no, so like that happened, and I guess what seemingly happened, well, after this, what I know happened, the cartel dropped off at the American border 5 of their gang members, I think it was 5 of them, tied up with a note that pretty much said, like, hey, listen, Americans, this was like a part of our gang that did this on their own without our blessing, and y'all can do with them whatever you want. We have no ties to them. We did not order them to kidnap Americans, and yet they will suffer the consequences for it. Let the families know we will do whatever it takes to repay this cost. And
Kingpin. So I want to be a kingpin.
I want my Mexican state.
Yeah, it's like I want in. I want to cut.
But all right, that's what I know. My mom was telling me, like, suppose, and she watches a ton of Fox News, so take this with that lens on it. All right, take this with that lens on it. Yeah. Fox News was talking about how the cartel, like, bought, like, really extravagant coffins, like, just as, hey, our bad. as a start, and
they're dead, but look how good they look.
Like, I mean, it's that, but, and don't get me wrong.
This coffin's to die for.
I don't, like, legitimately think the cartels give a shit, like, ethically, if Americans die at their, well, Mexican-American, whoever gets in the way of money, I'm killing them. However, it's totally in, like, their own self-interest to, like, we don't want the military invading us.
My thought was, they're like, what better way to get rid of a rival gang than have the Americans execute them?
Hold your horses.
That's my thought.
Don't skip ahead in this story, Merce. We'll get to that.
Because those guys are like, no, I swear, we had...
USA. Anyways, so what I think, like, just from the facts on the ground, what occurs to me is, like, this probably was, like, a splinter cell of the cartel with, like, their own half-baked, let's kidnap some Americans for ransom idea. And the main cartel's like, the last thing we want, the biggest threat to our power, is giving the world's largest military that has ever existed, that's in the middle of a recession and looking to spend money, a reason to come into Mexico and take our power from us.
Is there oil in Mexico?
There is in
Texas. I know there's in Texas.
I mean, so that's on the way.
I mean, like, yeah.
Is that like the oil pit stop on the way to the oil Holy Land? have we been in the wrong desert region this whole time? No. There's parts of Mexico that are actually really pretty, but anyways, so aside from that, that's what like I think happened behind that. Like cartels, like, hey, to like a sign of good faith, it's a good investment now to blow as much money as we can, appeasing the Americans' appetite for what this happened, so we don't have a big wolf howling at our door. If we like our power, we want to keep it. It makes sense that way. However, there is like. Me and my mom chatted about this. I brought up something, and I had to Google it to make sure my memory was working right. And I'll tell y'all the official story first. So this was like back in the 90s, when the drug, I think it was the early 90s. And back then, I verified this with multiple Mexicans I've worked with. There was drug cartels back then, and they would like kill people, but it'd be like kind of like stuff familiar with like South Central LA or stuff, like drive-bys, just kill them, just shoot them. That was like it. Maybe a stabbing, maybe a ransom kidnapping once in a blue moon.
Yeah, something classy.
Yeah, understandable stuff.
Highbrow.
The United States got involved, and they said, hey, we're going to train a special task force of Mexican police that we pick out and will answer to us. And again, this is the official story. This is what I like Googled earlier today.
Didn't we send a whole bunch of guns down there too?
Oh no, that's later. That's later. We're not even to that part yet. Hold your horses. This actually kind of makes that make a little more sense. So
yay.
Get ready for more black pills, everybody. So
pills of color.
All right. Red. I guess except the white one. But no, so we like get these handpicked Mexican agents to our government does to go down there. And the mission is they're going to kill the drug cartel kingpins. Off the top of my head, I can't remember if it's all the drug cartel kingpins or this one big one in particular. But get rid of that bad gang, right? That's a good thing. That solves the problem. No more cartels making drugs and selling them to Americans. So they send the special task force down there. They infiltrate. They infiltrate the cartel. They kill the leader. And then they just kind of have a change of heart. And they go, hey, instead of like killing the cartel, and forget this is, let me be serious for a minute. The official story is like they went down there, they took out the cartel, and then started running the cartel.
Like, hey, this is kind of a sweet gig.
That's kind of the story, is like they were like, oh, well, this, so much money, you can't turn away from it. This is our new job. Yep, we were in. It's from that moment onward. It goes from
100% what I would do.
From that moment onward, it goes from just shooting people to kidnapping their whole family and lighting them on fire in a barrel, to videotaping beheadings and putting them on the internet.
It's not very friendly for climate change.
No, not at all. A bunch of carbon emissions when you start a chainsaw.
Oh, right.
But no, so like all of this, and I've anecdotally, admittedly, yes, but I've had a large sample size of Mexicans from Mexico to ask about this. They're like, yeah, the 90s, that's like when it starts cranking up to what we know of the cartel today. And now here's the thing.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing about it when I was a kid, really.
No, I mean, you heard it, like there was a problem with like Mexicans coming over if you asked a lot of
some gang stuff, or like, but I never really heard the cartel, or never being like basically like the mafia style it is.
I would hear someone bought some Mexican weed.
Yeah.
Or like that was like, but it was like when we were getting to teenage years, it was like, oh.
Yeah.
But anyways, so then later on, there you just brought up a good thing just a minute ago. Y'all would hear about the Fast and Furious project.
I couldn't remember the name.
Fast and Furious under Barack Obama and the Department of Justice under, was it Eric Holder? If I just got all them names right, I'm pulling them up from like 10 years ago. That's a long drive. Good for Bandit. But no, so I know for a fact it was Obama's Department of Justice got caught smuggling weapons into Mexico because they were supposedly going to give them to the cartel and then trace where they're used in crimes to catch the cartel doing the crimes with the guns they were supplied. I was like,
that makes so much sense.
What makes a lot more sense is you're just giving guns to the Mexican cartels.
I want a gun.
But now let me make all these different stars kind of line up the right way.
Not to cut you off before you get there. But didn't they actually catch one of those guns and killed an American in Texas or something?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure there was like a big flag. Like one of the guns was like back in the United States and actually been like used in a murder.
By the way, we're wrong about any of this. Please Google it and correct our ass and send it to me. We'll bring.
Or don't and just take it at face value like everybody else does in like, the news.
Don't research it. Trust the experts.
Yeah,
we're the experts.
Yeah, if it's on the internet, it'd be true.
Yeah,
or
of course.
Be.
Anyways, back to cartels. So they like how all these like random different things. I mean, it seems like just pure chaos. Just shit going wrong after shit going wrong. But here's the lens I kind of look at it to help me kind of line it up more. If I was, let's say, a nameless agency that just was after like power in different areas, a really good way to do it in Mexico would be to like train a special task force to take over the drug cartels for you.
So it was called like the cool, irrelevant agency.
Yeah, there you go. Just make up some acronym and go along with it. But basically, that's my belief, is that it wasn't an accident or just a change of heart these agents had taking over the cartels. I believe that was the direct intention of training these sons of bitches. Send them in there, take over the cartels, take over the supply chain of all the drugs, not only controlling Mexico through ungodly violence.
Well, I mean, we were basically doing it in Central America already.
Yeah.
Mexico was just the middleman at that point.
We've done it we've admittedly done color-coded revolutions. They just look a little different. They're normally political. But with this, we just had a place that we didn't have to take advantage of the politics, just do it with raw firepower. And think about this. That to all like my conservative red-pilled friends that freak out about the border and have some legitimate gripes when it comes to like some of the stuff at the border. I really believe I'm not even going to say at worst, but based on how our foreign policy, the United States federal government's foreign policy goes in other countries and how it does regime change on a whim. In our lifetime, there's had to have been over 8 of them. I mean, but most of them, most people don't even know about. It'd just be that easy. You just take over the cartel with your agents that you control. They can send that, well, it's almost like bombing a country. You're going to have refugees fleeing the war zone coming to our country. However you feel about that, I don't care. It's just the effect of it. And what a convenient problem this has made for people talking about you and your power over them. Because I really think so much of, not all of our problems, not every damn problem you run into, but I think there's at least 1 or 2. Let me put it that way. I'm pretty damn certain there's at least 1 or 2 artificially created problems. Some of them are in the private market. Some of them are in the public, like, sphere of the government, pretty much. But when you have like a series of events that coincide with this problem, with the fallout of this problem happening, that just seems to make more sense to me than just the CIA just fumbling around in there and oops, we lost the ball and now there's so many reasons we can't do anything about it, but we'll let it happen. And, like drugs coming across the border and everything, hell, the fentanyl crisis. I mean, like,
what does fentanyl like actually do? I know we talked about drugs big last time, but from what I've gathered, if like you can get like a little bit on you, or you like basically OD, or like I've seen where cops touch it and they're like having to be Narcaned. Why would you even want to touch that?
I don't know.
But
That's
then
odd.
People use it.
It's
like opioid.
I don't even think if it is an opioid, it's super strong. Cause I don't know, but I'm pretty sure.
I mean, like I said, my mom was
like
like cancer real bad. Like that was like some of the last pain pills and stuff she was on. I had like you wear gloves. Like,
oh really?
I don't even like know like no. So I said the fact that somebody's like, yes, let's like have some of that. Just no.
Yeah. Why would you? Why?
Because originally it was
drugs.
like people were like dying because it was laced, and so people were like, okay, so it's like they're poisoning people with it. But now people are like, you're just on it. So it's just, I don't know.
No, what a very convenient population control.
Yeah, I looked up again after some of the...
And again, before like people say I'm too crazy on that, during Prohibition, the government killed more people by poisoning booze than people died of their own booze drinking volition.
Yeah.
Like and I hear the excuse of, well, that was back then, and times are different now. But it's like, when did the government like recognize, like, hey, we did this really bad shit, and we arrested the people responsible, or at least fired them? It's never happened.
We killed a sitting U.S. president, and we still won't give you the files.
Yeah, dude.
Everyone that did it is dead.
Hey, all right. So hey, there is one like Bandit, my bad correction. I listened to the last episode like the narcissist I am, and I just like totally rolled over Merce whenever we were talking about January 6th. Speaking of feds infiltrating shit, Merce was like, yeah, there's been in the middle of the episode, Merce goes, yeah, there's like video of them changing outfits, and I just railroaded right over what he was saying. But no, dude, I watched a little bit of it on Jimmy Dore on the way here. Thank God for these things we're recording on right now. Because, like, dude, there's so much video. There's so much video of people... Not only people doing extremely suspicious shit at the Capitol, like the one video Jimmy Dore showed, it's a guy all blacked out. Tell me if you remember me talking about this a year ago with the BLM riots.
Maybe.
But a guy all blacked out, sunglasses,
yeah, you're talking about going in there trying to start and tear stuff down. Yeah,
knock a couple of windows in.
This is about the time you kept calling me on the phone to go on these like rants, and I was finally like, I have the microphone.
Man, side note, happy like 1 year anniversary, because I think one of my first rants was how much I hate daylight savings and how much money it wastes.
Yeah, we've, like I said, I'm not sure on the exact date.
We might have not released that. We got drunk. I got drunk one time and tried to record it, and I was like, this
there's an episode, and there's lots of content that will never be released.
Never.
Unless you cross me.
True, he's got a lot. When we end this, he just keeps the recording.
You can never run for office.
No,
you can.
Not
you
without a good running mate.
You can just never cross me and run for office.
Touche. Please, nobody hack his computer.
No, I really wish I had some good stuff, but I don't.
Lies. That's what I would say. But no, all right. January 6th. Yeah. Watching this on Jimmy Dore. There's at the Capitol, and like a guy's recording this on his phone. He's standing right outside the building, and there's a guy in black sunglasses, black ball, like totally just blacked out where you cannot identify him. And he is taking a crowbar and smashing open the window and like pulling all the stuff down. And he turns to the guy who's holding the phone and recording him, and he goes, hey, why don't you join in with me? The guy holding the phone goes, nope, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm cleaning up trash. And is picking up the trash the guy dressed all black is smashing. And so the guy does that like for another 30 seconds. He backs up, and he turns around and sees another stranger walking with a flag, looks like a Trumper, just all Trumped, MAGA, big American flag, yada, yada. And the guy dressed in black who just broke the window goes up to him and shoves him and goes, why'd you just break that window? And the guy goes, I didn't touch it. And he looks at him, like the guy holding the flag just looks at him and goes, I don't want no part of this. And just starts backing away and goes, I'm not doing any of it. Like, I think he's catching on to what's going on. And dude, all right.
There's so much of it. Like the guy with the rebel flag in the Congress, but you can tell it was just unfolded out of the package.
I think I saw that.
You can still see the perfect folds like all in it. I was like, yeah, that dude just happened to just whip that out in the last second just for the photo op. Nobody around him at all. There's cameras set up, and he's perfectly waving.
Dude, and another one is, I got his name right, by the way, it pisses me off when I find out, like, I'll say something on the show, and I'll be like, never mind, I might be thinking this wrongly. Then I'll Google it afterwards. I'm like, I was absolutely right. Why'd I ever doubt myself? Mark that time with fame. Why'd I ever doubt myself?
Yeah. Sometimes it's for the best.
That'll be good. No, you need to play that for me in the future when things go wrong. So, no, so Ray Epps, like, is this big bombastic guy in every crowd that he's videotaped in for, like,
They call him Mr. Bombastic.
Totally fantastic. But no, like, he's wearing a MAGA hat, and he's, like, dressed like a Trumper, and every time this guy is videotaped, I've seen, like, 4 or 5 different videos of the guy in different places going, like, when we get up there, we're going to go inside and show these congressmen what we mean, and we're going to raid the Capitol. And, dude, the Trumpers, and I'll say this, they're very smart Trumpers. There's a lot of very smart Trumpers. Not all Trumpers are smart. If there's some reactionaries, they might be in a Trump crowd. Sure, let's just call them like we see them. God bless you, boys. I love you.
If you're wondering which one's the dumb one, it's you.
yeah, pretty much. But, like, some hotheads that'd be like, yeah, but, dude, everybody around this guy just starts going, shut the hell up. You're a Fed. Like, they're calling him out.
I've seen some other stuff where there's, like, a group of them, and they do look like straight cops or something sitting there, and people start calling them out because they're not.
I know what you're talking. The guys in sunglasses.
Yeah.
All right. That was at a libertarian rally.
Okay.
Which I'm like, hey, maybe we're actually a threat now. You're sending Feds after us. Yeah. But I digress. Trumpers. The Ray-ups. So, all right. If you would have asked me my opinion of the senator from Texas, Ted Cruz, like 24 hours ago, I just said, like, dude, he does some good things, but he's a wolf in sheep's clothing Republican. He's a yada yada. He says some nice things, but that's as far as it goes with him. I'd have been a wrong son of a bitch, because have you listened to him interrogate the FBI over January 6th?
Maybe.
Dude, this was I listened, and dude, if this was Ilhan Omar or for Kamala Harris, like, grilling a right-wing FBI, it would be just as good. But it's just so Ted Cruz starts out going, like, and they're like got an FBI person, agent or whatever, who's in front of them, and he goes, tell me, were there any federal operatives under the authority of the FBI or the CIA who were implanted in the January 6th rally crowd? And the lady just goes, we cannot answer that at this time due to national security.
I don't think I saw that. I remember you told me about that at some point. But
dude, and it's like, so he starts there, he goes, can you tell me if any FBI assets or CIA assets engaged in violent behavior on January 6th?
So what you're saying is the CIA or the FBI might have been involved in a government coup.
Yes.
When has that ever happened before?
Dude, the cherry on top, and I'll hand it to old Cruz, he goes, can you tell us if Ray Epps is a informant or if he works under the authority of the FBI or the CIA? We cannot answer that. And it's like, dude, if you look up left-leaning publications that, are like, January 6th was the worst thing ever.
Color by number.
Yeah. Find this hidden image. There's things. But if you, like, look at them when they talk about Ray Epps, he's like, dude, he does interviews with left-wing magazines. He's like, oh, I was a hardcore Trumper, but I've changed my ways. And, I was just hypnotized by Trump. So it's like, dude, he's a Fed. The FBI could have either said no or anything other than no is a yes. Like,
I still think the more terrifying part is, because CIA technically should be working for the government or you're part of the government, is straight up telling the government, no, you can't, you're not privy to that information. Trump. So then who the hell do they answer to?
And that's the thing I'm really split 50-50 on. And I don't know what is scarier. If there is some deep cabal that's a mix of the Rockefellers and Bush family and pick whatever group conspiracy you want. If it's one of them,
it's the Kardashians. There's no way they can be that famous for just.
You might be onto something. That's just as valid as a lot of them. I'll give you that. But no, like, what's an almost even scarier thought to me? That the longer it goes on, the more I kind of think this. What if there isn't? And what if it's just a runaway train? And it's just a machine. I mean, no one's... It's just positions that keep getting filled.
My brain just started playing the Soul Asylum song, Runaway Train. And I just completely just like went to a whole different...
No worries. Yeah, you're the one that does drugs. But, no, so like, you know, how can I put this in a different... If you show up to a pig farm, and you let's say you work there, and your job is to, I don't know, give the pigs a shot. That's your job all the time. That's what you do. The guy before you gave pig shots. The guy after you is going to give pig shots. You're there to fill a role, right? The only thing that's probably going to occupy your mind as far as giving pig shots is, I gotta give these pig shots. Is there a better way to give these pig shots? A cheaper way? You know, when it pertains to the job, it's going to be along those, right? So like,
and shoot the dog.
So I'm saying, like, if you show up to the Pentagon and you're like, I don't know, a freaking general, and the guy before you, his job was to protect America at all costs. The guy after you is to protect America at all costs, and you're there. And you're like, well, my job is to protect America at all costs. So if that means in order to protect America, I gotta like mute the voice of half of the dissenting population. I mean, that's protecting America. Like it's not even a grand cabal. It's just a...
I can never do that because my mind would just be like, oh, the dissenting population's Americans.
Yeah, that's because you're not growing up through the system and I think, you know, there's this thing called public choice theory. It's a little complicated, but it's one of my favorite ones. What'd I do?
You hit the microphone again.
Damn it! And we're back. I slapped the mic cord again. I do that from time to time. But no, so yeah, so like you're a good American. You wouldn't do that to other Americans, but like you've grown up.
Yeah, then you treat them like angry toddlers. You just let them fight each other and get it over with.
Yeah, but you grew up like
you dress one in gray, you dress one in blue, and let them go at it.
But I mean, you got to think about it. Like for a lot of, and I'm not just talking about Pentagon officials. I'm talking about bankers. I'm talking about like their goal is to make more profit at all costs, and they've learned that if you make super risky takes and you lose your ass, the government will bail you out. So thus you can take even riskier.
I've just heard the word bailout thrown around a lot these last couple days.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah,
so, I mean it's pretty right on.
But I mean it's all the same. Like it's not even a cabal guiding it. It's just a self-perpetuating machine of horror. Like, how do you even fix that if that's the case? I mean, like, for God's sakes, I know I've talked about it. Like, there was the time Trump was like, we're getting all of our troops out of Syria. And then on CNN, like, they're talking to a general, like, hey, are you actually getting the troops out of Syria? And he's like, no, don't listen to him.
Well, yeah, that was like the one general later that was saying that he was in talks with China, or he was going to notify China if anything happened, like, before. So it's all just like talking heads and just...
And these people have climbed the ladder to get to the very top. And the very top is like, if you're a weapons manufacturing company, hey, baby, bottom line is the guy before you made a profit.
I'm going to say something I don't know anything about. So, like on the military, from what I've gathered as an outsider looking in from social media, what people read and say, you know, like regarding, you know, like officers or, you know, things like that, it seems like the incompetent ones seem to climb the ranks because they're good at playing the game.
Yes.
And what it needs to do, but they're actually not very good. Not all of them. Some of them aren't good leaders, or because they're all like.
I've heard that something similar from a lot of vets,
and that's the same thing. Like a lot of employers and things like that is where leadership qualities happen. So it's if you have a way for all of that to work towards the top.
Yeah,
that's kind of terrifying.
And I'm sure there's exceptions. Like I'm sure there are people in some of the top brass that are like.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm not trying to put anybody down. I'm just saying the way the system works, it seems to reward yes men.
Is it Douglas MacArthur was like a World War II guy. I'm not thinking of him.
World War II had a corncob pipe.
I know there's that's him. I knew that name didn't fit. There is like a modern general. He's not a general anymore. He's retired. Westmoreland. I know more about what he talks about, but he seems like a genuine. He seems like a common sense person. He's one of the only generals I've heard that's like, No. This is retarded what we're doing with Ukraine and Russia. Like, this is provoking a war. This was retarded what we did in the Middle East. This was like, he's like, from a military standpoint,
I like MacArthur's like viewpoint on things, but his
making a nuclear belt around Korea.
Yeah, because it's like that's the only way. It's like we got to stop it, or you're just never going to end it.
Have you met Chinese people? They don't stop.
Yeah. It's never going to end. It's...
The radiation's just going to slow them down. That's just mud for these people. They just crawl through it, throwing in another generation over it. I was racist for the South American comment. That's what I was racist about. My bad, everybody.
At least it wasn't me tonight.
Yeah, true. Good, solid point. I'll take one for the team. But so yeah, this is like an extra show, and I didn't even mean to go super conspiratorial. These extra shows, literally, I had 3 things written down before the show, and like as we were hitting record, I kind of put some more down. But one other thing that really was swirling around in my mind, you know what's such a, for lack of a less vulgar term, what's a mind fuck that like none of us really appreciate, I think? So on the way here, I was listening to manly music like I always do. 99 Red Balloons. Have you ever heard the song?
99 Love Balloons.
Yeah. You know what the song's about, right?
I feel like once you tell me, it'll click. I've heard this before, and I've gone.
You know, it's like a super bubblegum song.
Yeah, it's about like Armageddon.
Nuclear war.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
They release 99 red balloons and it sets off a radar and everyone starts launching nukes.
Yeah. I knew something.
One of the best songs ever. Best songs ever. Just for that fact. It's so bubblegum poppy and it's about that. Like, chef's kiss. So, what I was thinking about on the way here, something we never appreciate. Alright, I've talked some shit against the boomers. This is like something I really appreciate about them. They grew up throughout the Cold War. Like, in the height of it. Like, they did duck and cover drills.
Yeah, they thought hiding under a desk would save them.
From an atom bomb. Like, they...
I've always wondered that's why our high school's built the way it is.
I mean, it's like, dude, like, we grew up around... Good chance. Doesn't protect that much from a hurricane, we found out.
Well, no, but you know, it's sloped up to half of it's underground, half of it's built into the ground. So if you braced against the walls, the blast would be sent over.
Probably just take the dirt with it. But
yeah, I mean, but that was
yeah. Here's for hoping. Keep everybody nice and calm before we die. But no, so like, not only that, like, that's just one bit of it. But I mean, like, dude, you had, all right, hang on, side note, McCarthy was right about a good chunk of stuff. But the extent of the Red Scare of, like, is that person questioning the flag of allegiance? Probably a Russian communist. Like, you know, there were, like, spies and stuff like that, too. But you are surrounded, your every waking moment, which just now we're starting to really appreciate, your every waking moment is the whole world could be ash. Because of retards in Moscow and retards in Washington, D.C.
That's why they had 3-wheelers, drank and drove, and had mullets.
Yeah, they got their minds off that shit.
Yeah, they lived in the moment.
Yes. Any second now, it could be over. But you grow up throughout that. I mean, like, dude, you know, I used the analogy before about the general that says the Soviet Union's going to last like another 1,000 years, and it's like literally the next day the Berlin Wall's falling.
If it does come back, wouldn't it be the Soviet reunion?
Make it into an 80s show that they're bringing back. Now with Gorbachev. So, like, but dude, it wasn't just that general. I bet if you took a time machine and went back to like screw the 60s, you go back to 1982 and go, how much longer is this Cold War lasting? Dude, I bet like everybody's like forever. Until I'm dead.
Yeah.
Probably until...
Well, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was going to be a standoff until the war.
It's either nukes go off, or the Cold War keeps happening. Like, that's the way the world is from here on out. Because that's all... I slapped the mic again, but I hope it didn't unplug anything.
No.
I'm expressive with my hands. But, so, like, that's your every waking moment. And then you wake up one day on Christmas. You wake up on Christmas... And you turn on the news after y'all are done opening presents, and the wall is being torn down. This thing that most government activity has centered around the past 50 years is over. It's gone. And seemingly, the good guys won. Like, what a, you know, it's like when you get the kick-ass 90s. Hey, the 90s were kick-ass. I'm from there. It was a fun time.
Yeah, but do you think it was fun because we were too young?
Yeah, it's a lot of it. Yeah, there was AIDS. But to us, dude, it was awesome. We were still going outside, but we were being introduced to this thing called the internet that we could slowly download porn on.
Yeah, I'm pretty content with where would I have liked to live 100 years ago, simpler times,
Nope.
like the ranching thing?
Nope.
Yes and no, but
Nope.
I think I'm content where what I am because I can remember like before the internet, and I've watched it evolve.
Yeah, I think our generation's going to be something similar to like our great-great-grandparents that like saw electricity coming to their town for the first time.
Yeah.
Where that's going to be like, we remember getting our first modem. And now you would call somebody and it would sound like robots falling down. Sure, Grandpa, take your pills.
You get angry that the phone rang because now it's going to take you another 19 hours to download your one email.
Dude, that Kazaa download took so long. Or LimeWire, or whatever.
Many a computer just slaughtered due to LimeWire.
But like, dude, back to the boomers. They grew up their whole life. I mean, if you didn't trust the government, at least the American government, I mean, there was consequences. And thank you, Merce, for the cue card that you used last week. I just saw him starting to flip through papers, and I was like, what mystic magic of yesteryear is he about to bring forward? 50-minute mark, gosh. Thank you, co-producer. A little bit of inside baseball for everybody.
If anybody wants to donate ink pens to the show,
yeah,
we have a Cash App on the Twitter because I'm having to reuse stuff.
If y'all want to keep hearing me click a pin,
please get some that don't click. I can't take them away. I can't hide them.
Ballpoint clicks. It helps me think, damn it.
There's somebody that's driving down the road and like adjusting. They think there's something wrong with their speakers, and it's just will not leave a pin alone.
It's somebody with an autistic tick that every time they hear it, they just scream.
Yeah.
Machine gun. But no.
That's an assault ink pin.
Yeah, nowadays. Hey, did you ever hear the story about how a shoestring became a machine gun?
No.
According to the ATF.
Oh.
Dude, I saw this meme, and I thought it was a joke. There's this great, damn, if YouTube hasn't struck him down. What was Officer Beaselman? It was a faux pas. It was a lawyer that made like a cartoon that would make fun of the ATF, and he talked about all the regulations they passed and everything they consider a machine gun. And within their definition, it's like anything that engages in multiple firings of a bullet while one trigger is held. And a guy pretty much made a rubber band machine gun that you could hold the trigger down on, but use like shoelaces for. Or no. He took a shoelace and put it into a gun to make it like it only shot 2 rounds before like the shoelace gave away. But he goes, technically, is this a machine gun? And they're like, yes, the shoelace classifies as a machine gun.
If the shoelace fits.
Wear it. Actually, don't. You go to prison.
Yeah, I saw the thing now, like with the pistol braces. If you have a pistol brace on a rifle that's a certain length, it's 10 years in jail if you're caught. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Hello, fellow felonious people.
But apparently they're talking about it's going to go to court and then be struck down because the ATF just imposed it. But people are like, yeah, there's going to be people over the next couple of years until they're struck down that are just going to be collateral damage.
That's how the government works. And those collateral damage people whose lives will be ruined for owning a firearm that was legal the other day, but became illegal, and in the future will be made legal, when they go to prison, they will never be let out early because it's made legal. That's like the people still in California locked up for weed.
After the president supposedly set them free?
Yeah. Oh, well, you know, no. There's a genius to that. Again, echoing Dave Smith. Surprise, surprise. So when he did that, he released everybody who was arrested for marijuana possession on a federal level.
Oh, but states didn't.
No, hang on. When the federal government goes after drugs, Do you think they go after possession or after dealers? There's like literally hardly anybody locked up for possession on a federal level. States arrest you for possession, but no, the federal government, it's
So it's like basically we can say this and sign this and let 3 people go, but it sounds good on paper.
Sounds good on paper, yeah. Because I was tough on crime, Biden back in the day, which we've gotten into tough on crime before. Damn it, had a fun thought. It left me. That happens. Shit, Merce, we're getting close to the hour. We've been cutting it late. I worked cows today. I got to work cows tomorrow. And then you're helping me the day after, maybe.
Yay!
Everybody, thanks for listening. We'll bring y'all some more. I'll try to drag my ass over here when I'm done with cows. And I'm going to go shower. I smell like cow shit.
I was going to say anything. I think you got like dirt on your face. But...
Do I?
Yeah, but it's fine.
I knew I had a dirty shirt, but whatever. All right, guys. Catch y'all next time. Finger guns. Bang, bang.